These are the Spitfire Formula 4 conical wheels at 52 millimeters in size. I think that's what that stands for. And they also at least go up to a 56 from what I see. I think that's where they max out at. Seeing as it just stops there, like the mind count stops at the 12. I don't even know if that was true or not. I don't even know. Technological design purpose. The conicals are designed for full riding surface without the weight, and symmetrical cut-in sidewalls for speed control and slide when you need it. Conical benefits. A wider riding contact surface leads to more grip and stability, topped off with that signature Formula 4 technology. While not flat spot proof, they are flat spot resistant. An important distinction to take note of. It can still happen. It's just a hell of a lot less likely, and that's true. It's true. If you skated the classics, if you skated the classics, if you continue to skate the classics, I know a lot of you motherfuckers do. The non-Formula 4 ones, like y'all niggas got problems, bro. You like pain, you like torture, you like flat shit, you like you know how it sounds. Just never do that shit. Don't do that. Go with the Formula 4s, nigga. Let that old habit die hard, like Bruce Willis on Viagra, nigga. Just let it. No, it's all personal preference, and I gotta keep hitting on that point throughout this whole video. It's definitely something you gotta keep in mind, but you definitely gotta try some shit to know if you like it or not, basically. Now the design structure. We got a smooth surface polyurethane wheel with a width of 31.5 and a riding surface, or RS I will be saying, of 19.5. The RS, or riding surface, refers to the actual surface area of the wheel that meets with the floor, thus riding. It's the area of the wheel you ride on. Which will compare to another shaped wheel, which is the Formula 4 Classics in the same size, 52 millimeters, but again, different shape, different riding surface, having a width of 32 versus 31.5. So the classics are actually wider. However, there's a whopping riding surface disparity of 15.5 for the classics versus 19.5 for the conicals. In fact, to match a riding surface of the conicals at 19.5, you'd have to get a 58 in the classics, and that's at 18, which is 1.5 points shy of the conicals. There is no 59. It skips that for whatever. Why? So the next size, it looks like on the chart, is 60. Well, that's really what it is. It's a 60. But that is a 21.5, which is 2 points of the disparity. So, but these right out the packaging feel super compact and extremely lightweight. One that just light. It's a bit wider and it's a lot more square, making it wheel profile that is larger in catch, meaning it catches more surface area of whatever terrain you're riding on. We talked about the riding surface and all that. The wheel being larger alone doesn't just do that, as we went over with the other one being bigger, but the surface that actually comes in contact with the floor, like we talked about it. This is going to give you more stability and decrease likelihood of slipping out unintended, but the ability to do so when you see fit, not slip out the slide, like power slide and shit like that. This also means it's going to navigate a lot better or smoother through bumps and cracks and acting more along the lines of what a larger wheel does best. I'm definitely feeling myself pummeling through like terrain I otherwise would have a harder time getting through. I do notice that, I do feel that for sure, I actually feel it. And I for sure feel the traction from the wider wheel profile in general, not just compared to smaller wheels. So you for sure notice that wider build they have versus even a wheel the same size, since again these are built wide. Now I notice it a good amount and I feel like I'm powering through rougher terrains a lot easier. Nothing too rugged, but not to upplay it. It's not like super dramatic as a feel, not personally for me. But again, it's definitely noticeable and I'm loving it. Now personally, while I do need to explore more, as is with whatever exploration I got under my belt, to me wheels don't tend to make too much of a difference. And a lot of it seems like marketing, hype, and gimmicks and malarkey. At least some of the hyper-specific claims you go on to see with like any wheel company that I see. Which again, to my knowledge, in terms of not being too wheel picky, it may be a matter of my ignorance. And since I haven't tried a lot, I could be missing out. So I may have some hyper-specific preferences beyond like the obvious, like a wheel size and don't flat spot on a nigga, don't do that shit. But that's like my obvious. That's like a generic type of preference. I don't know about if I need something like cut like this, cut like that, slim here, slim there, a little thick. I don't have all that. Those my personal goals and what I'm in the market for. What I'm looking for: a street and transition happy medium, as I gravitate more towards including transition into my skating. I don't want to tip the scales too much and have that throw off my street game, because that's my primary focus. You can't even talk, you bitch ass thing. Primary focus, and going too big will definitely do that. Oh, thank God. Oh, it's probably a rocket ass kickflip. I don't need all that wheel bite, none of that. But with these, I can keep it at the same size I ride at, a 52, not having to go too big. Remember, to a staggering 58 in the classics, only to still be 1.5 points off of the 19.5 bigger riding surface I'm trying to obtain. And again, I max out at a 54, so I can go ahead and even go up that big and get something like that and still be, I'm well within my means right here. Alright, so in the day, it's definitely a noticeable difference, but gets to a point, only to a certain extent. You know, so rough is rough, but you definitely feel yourself powering through cracks and nicks and things like that on the floor you otherwise wouldn't, a lot more easily. And you for sure have that stability. And most importantly, you're maintaining speed, so it's not really slowing you down too significantly. But again, it only goes so far, and seeing as these don't cost more, from what I can see, it's definitely worth it because you're going to get that advantage, and it's not going to cost you. And I was just on some 51 wheels, in which I had been on for a while, so at this point there was like a 49 probably. So I'm jumping from like a 49 to these 52s and wider riding surface and all that. It just, I felt it. I was feeling this shit. Definitely that little curve of getting used to it, going through a little bit of wheel bite, but now it's perfect, nigga.
Yeah, for real?
Yeah, I don't have a kickflip. Even though I'm going to not going, so I just jump with it. And these wheels, like I said, are light as marketed, and that's a true to claim statement right there. Especially in comparison to other wheels that would give you a similar spec at the cost of like being way heavier, like heavier than Thor's cock while he's wielding the hammer. And no, that wasn't necessary, but it did indeed happen. That was not necessary. There was nothing about that was necessary. But again, it happened. But I'm pretty sure it's the case that it's not slippery. Also, keep into account the type of, some parks are just not built. Then nigga, don't go to Stoner. You slip at Stoner. Don't give a damn how sticky your shit is. Now, I'm sure there's wheels that are made for that and more sticky on stickier than your average wheels, which do exist, but it's like an ice rink. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're trying to kill motherfuckers. It's not cool.
Biggie. This goes out Biggie.
Basically, I acclimated quickly. Maybe for you it would be a dramatic difference, but it's one of those things personally where you kind of get used to it, and then that difference, while still existing, it doesn't resonate as much because you get used to it. Like, I'm one of those people who has to hop on one and then the other right away to notice how amazing of a difference it is. And I did have the liberty of actually doing that like right away. So actually, I was really feeling the difference. Like, really, it was really setting in. Either way, if you're looking for some type of wheel that hits on all these categories, I absolutely would recommend you try these right here. So if it's not that much of a gamble, then gamble away. It ain't my money, niggas.